We learn very early in life not to trust, not to trust our spiritual presence in the body, not to trust that there is enough for us, for our survival or for our well-being or for our pleasure. We learn not to trust that we are good enough and that our essence is welcome here, so we start hiding. We learn to not to trust others, even the ones that we love, because they're going to betray us. And we learn not to trust the natural aspects of ourselves, our pleasure, our sexuality, our capacity to discern, to know from our gut and from our heart what is real, what is truth for us. So we start walking our life in that way, not trusting, closing up. What happens that when we cannot trust our chakras that actually are a magnificent part of our energy field that feeds us, but the way that the chakras work well is when they are open and they are receiving. So when we are not trusting, we are not opening, we are not receiving. And when we stop receiving the energy that we need, life doesn't feel right. We may get also sick because we lack some aspects of energy that we are not embracing, that we are not receiving. So what I'm saying here is that it's very important to learn, to relearn to trust. I know that it's very difficult in our society because also there is a system in our society that it's telling us constantly that to be in fear and not to trust life in general, not to trust even the divine. We cannot have a personal connection with the divine or with the energy that is underneath everything and everywhere. That we need someone to translate our capacity to relate with the divine, and also in that same space we learn not to trust also our bodies, that and the capacity of healing, the natural cycles in our bodies and how our bodies are designed to bring healing back after every time that we get hurt. We can see that when we get a wound that the body is trying, and it does, if we don't intervene much, heal itself. And so on. So what happens, and it's why in universal healing we do this healing for trust, because really when we are able to start trusting ourselves first, trusting that our presence here in this reality is not a mistake, that we are here for a reason, maybe more than one reason, but there is a synchronicity in our presence here, that we are co-creating our reality, that the universe is connected to us and we are connected to the universe. This is one of the effects that the non-trusting philosophy brings to our life, that keeps us in separation from the energy, from the divine reality of this dimension. And And of course, when we are in separation, we are in fear. We don't we don't perceive the divine precision that is happening in this reality in our life all the time, and how our capacity to be present, to be open, to be connected with our heart open can really help the reality that we are experiencing to be more pleasant or more in accordance of what we really want. And we can have experience, when we start trusting who we are and our relationship with the reality that is here for us, when we start trusting that, we can also actively, in an active way, we can start changing it. We can start directing our life. We can start taking ownership of our life and our creations. We can start really trusting in deeper levels as well. But first of all, we need to start trusting a little bit to start opening. I'm always saying to my clients, open your heart. Because when you open your heart, you start feeling the connection that you have with another person that maybe you can trust, and finally with yourself. And it's very different. You can see on the streets people that are not trusting, that they are walking in a different way than people that are trusting themselves. It connects you with your personal power as well. You know who you are, you know that nothing will harm you, that nothing is going to come after you, that you have the capacity to connect deeper and deeper into different dimensions of reality, and that the universe, when you are trusting yourself, the universe is bringing you what you want and what you need. And this happens as well when you are not trusting. But when you are not trusting is what you want and what you need, it can be difficult situations, because the universe is always trying to bring us back to balance, back to alignment, back to openness. And here it's when it's so important also to work with your hara dimension, with your intention, with the intention of your eternal soul, to be here, to have this experience. And there is a moment that we can really surrender to this experience, to know that this have not happened by accident, that you are here and you know who you are, and you can trust that, and that you can have a life that is worth it, a life that you can do the movements that you want to do, that you can allow your creativity to guide you, that you don't put so much attention in what others are thinking about you, or thinking about what you are doing, because you do it because it feels good, because it feels right to you. And what others say is very secondary. And when I say others, I mean people that are around you, or even the powers, the powers in the world. You start seeing reality that the only real power that is here is your realization of who you are, and the connection that you have with, let's call it, the divine. The divine that is you and that is everything else. But when you are connected with it, then you can really trust in a deep level. So this is why we prepare this healing, that you know that we do healings in universal healing about systems and organs, but also we do some healings about energies. And the energy of trust, it is so important. And sometimes it's hard to just step into something by ourselves. Sometimes we need some help here and there. And with that help, we learn to trust and to open up. We learn to trust our own guidance, our heart, our gut, what feels right for us. We need to trust it, and we can, and it's not kind of blindly trust anything that we feel, but it's this art of refining your presence, refining your openness, refining what is attracting you in your life and what you want to bring, the gifts that you are bringing. Can you trust that you are a being that is bringing gifts into this world, into this life? Because we all are that being that is bringing gifts. Our unique gifts that can be it can be a combination of things, it can be something similar to others, but can you trust your creativity? And another thing that is important in the spiritual world, the people that are realizing that they are spiritual beings in this physical reality, and they want to bring more and all that, sometimes are a little hang up into that spiritual planes, and keeping their energy a little out of the body, because also it feels a little safer, because we grew up when we are afraid of this physical reality, we keep our energy a little out of the body. And so one thing that happens when we learn to trust is that we can allow more and more energy to be grounded in our body, to be grounded in this planet, to be grounded in this physical reality. And in doing that, our gifts are more clear, are more powerful, and are more meaningful for us, for ourselves, and for the world. So let's keep opening to the possibility of trusting ourselves, trusting our presence in this body, and trusting our presence in this world. And finally, trusting that the world and us are not separated. The world, the universe is supporting our presence here and now. Join us in universal healing, and you will see how the opening is happening. Congratulations.